What if I told you that one of the rarest gemstones on Earth has been hiding in plain sight for decades, and most people who've seen had no idea they were looking at something worth millions? Yes, million. Not thousands, not even hundreds of thousands, but life-changing generational wealth. And here's the scary part. Someone, somewhere might already have it, and they're treating it like an ordinary stone. Pause for a second. What if that someone is you? Because today we're uncovering one of the most mysterious, valuable, and overlooked gemstones ever discovered, Taaffeite. A stone so rare that for years, scientists didn't even know existed. A gemstone mistaken, ignored, and almost lost forever. Yet now, it's quietly becoming one of the most valuable assets in the luxury gem market. And if you don't pay attention, you could miss the opportunity of a lifetime. Act 1 begins. The story of Taaffeite doesn't start in a mine or deep underground. It starts in a jewelry shop. Imagine this. It's 1945, and an Irish gemologist named Richard Taaffeite is examining what appears to be a spinel gemstone. Nothing unusual, right? Spinel is beautiful, but not exactly headline-breaking. But then something strange happens. Taaffeite notices a double refraction in the stone, something spinel should not have. That tiny detail, something most people would overlook, changed everything. Because what he had in his hands was not spinel. It was something completely new to science. Let that sink in. A gemstone that had already been cut, polished, and sold before anyone even knew it existed. That's like discovering a new species of animal in your living room. And here's where it gets even crazier. To this day, Taaffeite remains one of the only gemstones in the world first identified after being faceted. Not found in raw form, not discovered in a mine, but already sitting in the market, disguised as something else. Now imagine how many more could still be hiding, misidentified, undervalued, ignored. Scary, right? Because every day, people unknowingly sell rare stones for a fraction of their worth. And that's where urgency kicks in. If you don't know what to look for, you could lose millions without even realizing it. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Taaffeite is not just rare, it is extraordinarily rare. In fact, for every million diamonds mined, only a handful of Taaffeite stones are ever discovered. Some experts say it's over 1,000,000 times rarer than diamonds. Yes, you heard that correctly. While people chase diamonds, the real wealth might be sitting quietly in a collector's drawer or even in a forgotten box of old jewelry. Quick question, when was the last time you checked your old gemstones? No, seriously, because this is how people miss fortunes. Act 2 begins. Let's talk about value. Why is Taaffeite worth millions? It's not just rarity, it's demand. High-end collectors, investors, and elite jewelers are constantly searching for stones that almost no one else can own. Taaffeite fits that category perfectly. It's exclusive, mysterious, and incredibly difficult to source. Its color ranges from soft lavender to pinkish violet, sometimes even with hints of gray or red. Under the right lighting, it glows with a subtle elegance that screams luxury without trying too hard. It's the kind of stone that doesn't beg for attention. It commands it. And here's the exciting part. Prices have been steadily rising. Fine quality Taaffeite can sell for thousands per carat, and exceptional pieces, they can reach into the hundreds of thousands, even millions depending on size, clarity, and origin. But here's where fear comes back in. Most people don't recognize it. They mistake it for spinel, sapphire, or even tourmaline, which means one thing: massive undervaluation. Imagine selling a Taaffeite stone for a few $100s, thinking it's just another pretty gem, while the buyer quietly flips it for tens of thousands or more. That's not just a mistake. That's a financial tragedy. And it happens more often than you think. Now let's reset for a moment. What would you do if you discovered a stone worth $1,000,000 today? Would you sell it immediately? Would you hold it? Would you even know where to go? Because owning a rare gemstone is one thing, but unlocking its true value, that's a completely different game. And here's where smart strategy comes into. High-value gemstones like Taaffeite aren't sold in random markets. They move through elite auction houses, private collectors, and specialized dealers. Timing matters. Presentation matters. Certification matters. Without proper authentication, your $1,000,000 stone could be treated like a worthless rock. Let that sink in. This is why knowledge is power and why you're here right now. Act 3 begins. Now, imagine this. You take a stone, something you've had for years, maybe inherited, maybe found, maybe bought without thinking much about it, and you get it tested. The results come back that it's Taaffeite. Your heart starts racing. Suddenly, everything changes. That stone is no longer just a stone, it's opportunity. It's freedom. It's a chance to transform your life. But here's where most people go wrong. They rush, they panic sell, they accept the first offer, and just like that, they lose a fortune. Don't be that person. Because the real winners, the people who turn rare stones into real wealth, they move strategically. They research. They consult experts. They understand market demand. They play the long game. And that's how you maximize value. Let's bring in a quick reality check. Not every purple stone is Taaffeite. And yes, there are imitations, misidentified gems, and outright fakes in the market. But that doesn't mean you ignore the possibility that IT means you approach it intelligently. Think about it. The cost of testing a gemstone is nothing compared to the potential upside. Would you spend a little to potentially gain millions? Of course you would ask, oh, why are so many people still ignoring this? Because they don't know? And now, you do that. Let's take a quick pause. Picture your life if you discovered something this valuable. In more financial stress, in more limitations. The ability to invest, grow, and live the lifestyle you've always imagined. That's the power of hidden wealth. And Taaffeite represents exactly that, a hidden opportunity waiting to be recognized. Now here's the final connection. The world is changing. People are moving away from traditional investments and looking toward rare, tangible assets. Gemstones like Taaffeite are becoming part of that shift. They're portable, valuable, and independent of typical market fluctuations in uncertain times, rare assets become even more valuable. Which means one thing, demand will continue to rise. And supply, almost non-existent. That's the perfect formula for explosive value growth. The question isn't whether Taaffeite is valuable. The question is, will you recognize it before it's too late? Because opportunities like this don't stay hidden forever. Once awareness spreads, once the market catches on, the window starts to close, and those who acted early, they win. Those who didn't, they watch from the sidelines. And that's not where you want to be. Let's bring this home. You now know the story. You understand the rarity. You see the potential. But knowledge without action means nothing. Take this seriously. Check your gemstones. Get them evaluated. Learn the signs. Because the difference between an ordinary life and an extraordinary one could be sitting right in your hands. And you don't even know it yet. The screen fades to black. The final message appears. Don't ignore what others overlook. Because hidden within the ordinary lies the extraordinary. And sometimes it's worth millions.